Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Nakia Marie Astrology, and I am back with an update on Miss Dani Leigh and the baby. When I left off on this channel, I had did like two videos, one with Dani Leigh's chart, and then one synastry reading on her and the baby. Definitely feel free to go check those out if you haven't seen them, because there was a lot, especially in the synastry reading between Dani Leigh and the baby, that I was able to pick up on in their reading that actually did come to fruition. And we'll just recap a few things that happened after 2020 when I did do their reading. So let's just get started. I kind of missed y'all. So what hasn't happened between the baby and Dani Leigh? Like it's been a little bit of a mess since 2021 when they broke up in like early February, like around Valentine's Day. Clearly he wasn't taking the girl seriously enough. I don't know if it was the Yellowbone song that she came out with prior to them breaking up, because it seemed as though he was kind of supporting it a little bit, but I think it was a bad move for him, especially, as a father of two beautiful brown-skinned girls. I mean, his mom is brown-skinned. Probably most of the women in his family are brown-skinned. So, yeah. He's also, a Capricorn sun. So his reputation, status, career, his money, is important to him. And he can't have homegirl messing that up. Now, I believe it did impact Dani Leigh a little differently. Well, she handled it a little differently, posting that she was officially single. And I know she definitely was in her feelings because she did, find out shortly after, that she was pregnant with his kid. So, yeah. Now, speaking of her pregnancy, I did notice, now I haven't been on YouTube, but I've been on IG and keeping up with everything that's been going on. And I did notice, Dani Leigh, now, and this is a little weird on your part. I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but I know you be on his baby mama's pages, because if you on Mimi's, you on the second baby mama's page as well. And I don't know her name, but that's Nova's mom. And it looks as though you kind of jacked her pregnancy photo idea. And I'll put both pictures up so you guys can be the judge. So, Dani Leigh, I don't know. But anyway, one thing I did mention in my previous synastry reading on the two is that their arguments could get pretty intense because they may have a lot of emotional misunderstandings, and there could be a lot of lies and deception going on. And as y'all could see earlier this year, they had the whole IG Live situation where he was trying to put her out the house with a newborn. Well, it wasn't newborn. I think baby Valor was about 3 months, I believe. And he was putting her out the house. She had nowhere to go. At the time, I don't think she had her home. She was having some issues with her family, according to him. So it was a big old mess. He definitely disrespected this girl on every level, with her just having his kid. And I don't know their situation. Again, I told them, well, I didn't tell them because they didn't see the reading, but my advice to them was to be open and honest, because they could misread each other. And those rose-colored glasses that I believe Dani Leigh was wearing throughout that 3-year process, or that on and off relationship with him, that she did not realize that he was, in his mind, considering her that whole time to be, quote unquote, a certified side chick, and that he was never, in his mind, in a relationship with her. And I believe she was very, very, very emotionally invested in him. And in my reading, I also mentioned that it could be emotionally addictive and hard to set boundaries in this relationship, which we could see with her. Despite him constantly going back and forth between her and Mimi prior to her getting pregnant, she still was with him. I mean, clearly she posted that he left her when she got pregnant, and then she still got back with him, and in her words, like a dummy. But that happens, when you're trying to make your family work for the kids. I get it. I believe he was on like a whole family vacation, and he tends to do that with Mimi and the kids. And then also the second baby mom. I know she lays low, and I ain't trying to bring her into no mess, because I don't blame her. But she went on a little family vacation as well. And I think it was during the time where Dani Leigh was having her baby shower, if I'm not certain. I'm not sure, but he definitely was, living his life and doing him while she was pregnant. But again, she was going back and forth because we'll see later on that she posts photos of him, kissing on her when she was pregnant, and I'm taking little family photos after the baby was born. So it's just been a lot of back and forth on and off with them, and I think she had enough signs to know that he was not committed to that relationship into her at all. So unfortunately, she had to learn the hard way. I mentioned in my last reading that this was rather going to be the greatest love of all or the relationship from hell. And as y'all could see, that it was definitely from hell. And I did also advise her that she would have to come out like, the phoenix rising from the ashes. And she did. Dani Leigh is getting her stuff together. She's back in her music, back in her bag. She got a new little hairstyle going on. She ain't rocking that blonde curly look anymore. She's, embracing the lace wigs and different styles like that. And I feel like she's building herself back up as a new version of herself. I think she's even referring to herself as Danielle, on IG now. But again, these two definitely were just not on the same page. I think it was fun when it was fun, but when shit got real, it got real. And I heard you learn a lot about, people once you have a kid with them. So, yeah. Like, of course, he's a great dad. He's really, really good with the kids, but he ain't about to settle down with one of the baby mothers. I mean, she is the third one. If he ain't settled down with the first and the second, and I don't think the second really, I don't know if she's interested in a relationship with him or not, but if he ain't did that with Mimi, and he's been around her for years before he was even the baby, then I don't know if he really willing to do that with you, Dani. As far as y'all relationship, I think it was just, a very toxic situation for the both of you. So, it is good that you guys are going your separate ways. It does appear that the co-parenting is working out. I see he's spending a lot of time with the baby, and she has her daughter as well while she's working and getting back into her career. So, despite them, having the little chaos and confusion, I'm glad that they are both, getting back on track within their own professional careers and co-parenting, like I mentioned before. And let's just hope that he keep his hands off the brother and all that family drama, because I know y'all seen when he, got into the fight with the brother, and I think that was definitely the last straw when he, was dragging her brother around the bowling alley, that, now you didn't cross the line, now you attacking my family, this is too much. And I guess that, like, again, that's where you draw the line. I would think that the IG live would have been enough, but according to the baby, they were still, in cahoots. They were still getting it in at the hotel or wherever, prior to him, beating up her brother. So, I don't know. At this point, I hope enough is enough, Dani Leigh. Since you dropped the new song, Dead to Me, don't go reviving the dead, because that Venus and Scorpio sometimes, don't know how to let go, loyal to the fault. But once they are done with your ass, and you might as well be dead to them at that point. You know what I'm saying? Use that Scorpio energy to transform, and move forward and become a better version of yourself. And hopefully you just continue to grow from this situation. And don't go backwards, girl. Don't go backwards, because I know he probably looking all fine to you, especially when he with the baby, your daughter, not, the baby, but y'all baby. But I know he looking all, fine to you, and sometimes those old emotions might come back, but you got to stay strong, stay focused on your music, because Velour is going to need that strength in her mom. And just keep it pushing, girl. Show him what he could have had, like you been doing, because I know them posts on IG is for him, but that ain't my business. But now that we've caught up on the tea, let's take a look at Dani Leigh's birth chart and the current transits to see what planets are currently transiting her natal planets. So currently, Pluto is transiting her natal Uranus in Capricorn. Her Uranus is at 24 degrees, and Pluto is currently at 27 degrees Capricorn. So Miss Dani Leigh, to say the least, she's definitely has experienced a lot of unexpected changes. She had, had to go through some life-changing events, becoming a mom, moving out of her home, having some family drama, I'm assuming, because I know he mentioned it, but she never confirmed or denied. Well, she might have denied it a little bit, but she never really talked about it, that her relationship with the baby caused some issues, but clearly it did cause a lot of issues in her family because the brother was all involved. And even in her song she mentioned that the mother and the daddy never liked him to begin with. So I believe it was a little truth to when the baby was saying that she had to get away from the family, and he was trying to make sure she was good while delivering the baby and everything, because she was having issues with her family. So understandable. If I was her family, I wouldn't want her with him either, because he just got a lot of mess with him, and he'd been in a whole bunch of other drama as well in the past. And then he's a mess. If I had a daughter, she was my daughter, I'd be like, no honey, you might want to just try somebody else. Not saying he's a bad person, but just no. But Pluto is a planet of destruction, and it definitely brings in death and rebirth in situations from things that may have been hidden below the surface. It could have also brought up maybe some obsession, for her, like over that situation originally, with maybe being obsessed with, being a family with him and making that situation work for her daughter. But again, Pluto being there, it broke that thing down. It was like, no, that's not working for you. You're not in control of this situation. You're giving away your power. So this is what we're going to do. This is the situation got to happen, even though it's going to be dramatic and life-changing for you. But it has to happen in order for you to change and be liberated and become the person that you need to become, like individually, authentically. So, and I do believe now that Dani Leigh is coming more into herself these days. I think she is definitely grown as a woman. When you become a mom, I believe, I don't have any kids, but I believe when you become a mom, it definitely changes you. And she did experience that. Definitely going to be some ups and downs. We've already seen some of the downs, but now we're in the ups. She's enjoying her career. Look like she's even enjoying her life. She's enjoying vacation. I think I seen her on a boat. She back in her bikini after having a baby. So she is definitely, changing the situation, turning that pain into profit. Got her song out, preparing for the new album. Of course, a lot of people are going to be looking forward to the album because of the baby situation and all the drama surrounding their relationship. So they're going to want to know her side of the story. I believe the album is going to be something like that, her side or something. I don't know exactly, but the album is basically going to give more of her side of the situation, because clearly they have two different, perspective on what happened in that relationship. But this transit is definitely not over yet for her, and she will be, still dealing with these changes, but I think she's handling them well. The best thing to do with Pluto and Uranus, because things can be so sudden and unexpected, sudden and unexpected, that you just got to go with the flow. Whatever has to go, you got to let it go, because what's coming is going to be much better than what's had to go. So despite it being a dramatic moment for her, an embarrassing moment, it still allowed her that opportunity to take some time off and come back and reinvent herself and come back as a stronger, more powerful woman. Not that woman we saw in that white beater with that hair pulled back in that bun without her makeup on, even though she still looked beautiful, even considering the situation. But that ain't her today, okay? And now both of them, the baby and Dani Leigh, have Uranus opposing their natal Venus in Scorpio. Uranus is currently in Taurus, and they both have their Venus in Scorpio. So this definitely, for both of them, are going to bring some unexpected changes in their relationship. Uranus can bring relationships into your life suddenly, or take relationships out suddenly, depending on the circumstances. So if that relationship and somehow was restricting you or limiting you in any way, then Uranus will come in and cause changes to disrupt that. And you would have to be able to, well, the relationship would have to be strong enough to sustain those changes by, maybe committing to new ways of doing things and thinking outside the box and maybe planning more for like their future together. But since that didn't happen, they broke up, and I'm sure he's out there exploring new things. I hope Dani Leigh is also exploring new options. Now, with it being with Uranus opposing the Venus, these options could be definitely, out the box, something a little different. They could be trying, new types of groups to hang out with, they both are into, the music industry. So this could affect their business relationships as well, having new opportunities with their music careers, as well as, Venus does represent your money and material things. So there could be, some ups and downs or changes within their finances. We know, they're both pretty much financially doing well, I'm assuming. But I know the baby probably did face maybe losing a few business opportunities with him getting caught up in some drama like the LGBTQ community. But then on the positive side, he's also had opportunities to work with like artists like Kanye West, and he's working closely with 50 Cent. So despite his stuff that he's been getting into and the drama surrounding him, he's still doing pretty well in his career today. So, but to wrap this video up so it's not too long, this really wasn't a whole lot of astrology because I don't have the exact houses for Dani Leigh. If y'all have her birth time, or tell her holler at me for a personal reading so I can get this information. But the houses would definitely make a big difference. I would have a little bit more of a detailed reading for y'all. But this was fun. This is definitely for entertainment purposes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the reading and the update on Dani Leigh and the baby. Make sure y'all come back and join me for more videos. Like, share, subscribe. And, just continue to support the channel. Thank you again. Love y'all. Bye.